introduction. By my left,
Mrs. Mary Bolodioku from Federal Ministry of Education, Abuja.
My name is Albert, Federal Minister of Education, Abuja.
I'm Victor from your side.
Okay, thank you, judges. It's good to have you all. So now it's going to be exciting to see how our debaters will make their points going forth for or against the motion. So proposition Plateau State, please let's have your first speaker. Your time starts in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have it.
Agriculture may feed the stomach, but industrialization feeds the nation. Agriculture has an important finished goods. Not China, not South Korea, not even Malaysia. All these countries climb the ladder of greatness. These countries climb the ladder of prosperity by industry, not with hoes and cutlasses. Nigeria can as well do same in order to boost its economy beyond human expectancies by stopping the exportation of raw cocoa and importing chocolate. We must stop exporting crude oil and importing petrol. And above all, we must stop being a warehouse of raw materials and become a factory of manufactured goods. This motion is exactly the vision of Nigeria's prosperous economic system. The Speaker, members of the House, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, standing before Sindam Jacob, the lead speaker of Team Plateau, here to affirm the motion, this House believes that Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture for economic growth. But before I set the ball rolling to everybody's satisfaction, permit me to highlight the key terms in the motion. Prioritize means to give much importance to something over other things. Industrialization is a process by which the government of a country adopts in order to provide the needed social amenities or in order to eradicate its citizens from poverty. Agriculture is the art and science that deals with the production of crops and rearing of animals for man's consumption or use. Economic growth is the degree or capacity of the productivity of a nation and how it will determine the standard of living of its masses. As team proposition, we'll be navigating through 7 arguments, of which I, as the lead speaker, will be extensively deliberating on the first 3. My first supporter will take the next 3, while my debunker will take the last point. We, as a team, will present our arguments in such a way that will come along with statistics, scenarios, references, valid examples, and claim to back up our proposition on the motion. Although agriculture might be very significant and important in the development of a nation, that does not make it a priority in the economic well-being of such a nation. We cannot agriculturalize our economy, knowing fully well that we don't have the industries that will process the agricultural raw materials that will be produced by our farmers. Industrialization will go a long way in providing stable employment opportunities for our youth. Remember, today we complain of crime rates in our societies. We tend to forget so easily that it's because our youth are not being employed. That's why they see crime as the only source of livelihood and also a payback for not being employed. If we will industrialize our economy, our youth will be employed. This will go a long way in reducing the rate of poverty and affecting the national economy positively. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the Director General of World Trade Organization, after a meeting with His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in August this year, came out with a solution to Nigeria's economy. This solution is that Nigeria's economy needs nothing presently rather than an industrial approach. This industrial approach will ensure youth inclusivity. This industrial approach will ensure boosting of governmental revenue and many others. Going further, Nigeria should industrialize its economy because it will help in boosting governmental revenue. All of us will be able to witness that once we industrialize our economy, foreign investors from all over the world will be attracted to our nation. They will come, settle down, establish their companies, industries, and business firms. This will go a long way in reducing the rate of poverty and also generating governmental revenue. The government will now use this revenue generated to provide the basic needed social amenities we as citizens want. This will also help the rate of poverty and affect the national economy positively. By growing the economy, we mean stopping the exportation of raw materials and then importing finished goods. Nigeria cannot be an exporter of raw materials only. We should be exporters of finished goods. Remember that the more we export, the stronger the naira becomes. The more we import, the weaker the naira becomes. We therefore have to be exporting the more in order to make the naira stronger to compete with other currencies at the international market. Nigeria's economy will crash entirely if we fail to diversify from the crude oil sector, from the agricultural sector, back to the industrial sector. This is an economic revolution in which all of us should look up to. This is the best solution for Nigeria's economic woes. Again, prioritizing industrialization over agriculture in Nigeria will help stabilize the economy. Apart from stabilizing the economy, it will grow the economy because most of our youth will be engaged in the economy. Most Nigerians will be engaged in the economy. This will reduce the rate of poverty, increase the standard of living and affect the national economy positively. Think of mental revenue. This industrialization of our economy will go a long way, including the use in everything that has to do with nation issues. I believe with this, we all are convinced that Nigeria should stabilize its economy, should industrialize its economy to ensure youth inclusivity, employment opportunity, good governmental revenue, and many others. With this, I'm proud to propose. Thank you.
Second speaker from opposition. Or rather, first speaker from opposition. First speaker from opposition. First speaker from Team Kogi. We can't hear you.
For this state now, what are you waiting for?
Time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good day, Chairman, honorable adjudicators, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and members of this house. My name is Saliu Deborah, and I'm standing against the motion which states that Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture for economic growth. I'd like to know the basis of this. That is the point, agriculture and industrialization. But I'll be going with industrialization first. Industrialization is the act or process of industrializing, that is, the widespread of industries in countries, nations, regions, and many more places. Agriculture, on the other hand, is the science, act, or practice of cultivating the crops and producing crops and other farm produce, and also the rearing of livestock animals. Our argument for prioritizing agriculture over industrialization is based on 3 solid pillars. 1, poverty alleviation and social inclusion. 2, sustainable economic diversification. And 3, global resilience, all included in these 2 solid points I'm going to be giving you. First, agriculture is the engine for mass poverty alleviation and social inclusion. Industrialization in its early stage is usually capital inclusive, which creates highly concentrated jobs. Agriculture, on the other hand, is usually labor intensive, low skill entry, and geographically dispersed, which makes it the most potent tool for fighting poverty in our rural landscape. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS 2023, agriculture sector employs over 36% of the total Nigeria labor force, making it the largest employer of labor in the country. Industrialization, on the other hand, in the industrial sector, employs less than 12% of this total population and is mostly urban-based. Even the World Bank also recorded that the growth in agriculture is greater than the growth in other sectors. This is because most poor people in Nigeria live in rural areas and depend on farming. In states like Kebbi, Ebonyi, and Niger, the rice and cassava farming program, if you can remember, around 2016, it's lifted thousands of families out of poverty, thanks to the government and thanks to CBN revenue and CBN intervention. In addition, agriculture is important in the matter of food security and sovereignty. This argument is non-negotiable. No nation can call itself independent if it cannot feed its people. Food security to me is what I call national security. The World Bank confirms that countries that diversifies through agriculture in its early stage tend to experience more sustainable growth than those who depend on industries, oil, and petroleum.
Speaker.
Nigeria, this country we are, Nigeria spent over $10 billion annually. Over $10 billion annually on importing food items like rice, wheat, cassava, and sugar. When agriculture is prioritized, local food production increases and exports drops. Imports also drops, but local food production increases, saving our foreign exchange. Because if you can see now, dollar is higher than naira, and which makes foreign exchange so hard and difficult for us. So if agriculture is prioritized, it will save our foreign exchange and boost our farmers locally. Well, honorable judges, timekeeper, and the members of this house, the choice is clear, really, really clear. Do we chase the phantom glory of foreign-made industries, or do we cultivate this enduring strength of our own soil? We are not against industrialization. No, not at all. We are not against industrialization. That is not what we are saying. But we insist that agriculture must be, I repeat, must be our primary strategic priority, because it is a sector that touches the largest number of our lives. It is the sector that secures our nation's future. We urge you to reject this motion, Mr. Chairman and our honorable judges, because we are meant to save our green land, our green gold. Let's prioritize our green gold. Let's make it our priority. Thank you very much.
That was amazing. So please, quickly, before we have our second speaker from proposition, whenever you want to give a POI, don't shout POI, just raise your hand like this so everyone can see. When you shout, you interrupt, just raise your hand. And it's the choice of the speaker to either accept your POI or decline. Once you raise your hand more than 2 times, they don't answer, don't raise your hand again so you don't distract them. And don't make a noise, just raise your hands up, they can clearly see you. Let's have a second from proposition, please. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Speaker, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Azigba Precious, the second speaker from Team Plateau, here to propose the motion. This house believes that Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture to promote economic growth. Before I move further, it seems like the first speaker from the opposition side has failed to understand the topic at hand. It is not poverty alleviation, it is economic growth. We affirm that while agriculture is vital for livelihoods, industrialization is the fastest, more durable route to higher productivity, decent formal jobs, and a higher tax income rate, which will provide income for education, infrastructure, and health. Nigeria has been a country that exports raw materials and imports finished products at a higher rate of what they originally exported. And that is why the economy still struggles up to this date. It is high time we move from producing what we eat to producing what we sell. And I'm here to back my arguments with the following points. Firstly, industrialization promotes innovation and technological research. Industrialization is the backbone of modern innovation. It ensures STEM education, eco-based system innovation, and technical programs and research. Countries like South Korea and Singapore have become industrial leaders by linking education to production. Nigeria's universities and polytechnics could supply skilled labor to their manufacturing industries and industrial hubs. Can we expect invention and innovation to thrive without industry to apply commercialization? My second point is industrialization modernizes and adds value to agriculture. Again, I say, we are not abandoning agriculture. Rather, we are upgrading it. Agro-based industries transform perishable goods into durable products. Examples are, it transforms the cassava to ethanol and starch. It transforms tomato to paste. It transforms milk to powder. And it transforms palm fruits to cosmetics and biofuel. By so doing, it saves 3.5 trillion annually from the total losses that is gotten by the food and agricultural organizations annually. And also, by doing this, farmers can earn more, diversify exports, and import bills will also fall. And that is why Professor Pat Utomi and economics will say, and I quote, agriculture and industry must dance together, but industries must lead the reading. Industrialization is not sequential, rather it is simultaneous and integrated, and that is why industries must lead the reading. My opponents might argue with me and say, agriculture should come first and industries can come later. But that later is what never comes. Over the years, since the 1960s, the Nigerian government has promised to industrialize our economic growth. But still, yes, we still import petty materials like pencils and erasers. If we keep saying later, when will we ever begin? My last and final point here is the source of income and earnings comes from oil products and raw commodities. And according to the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, it states that raw material and products earn 4 to 6 times more than raw products and materials. Let's do the practical example. You can imagine exporting raw cocoa for $2,500, but when you export chocolates gotten from the same cocoa, you can sell it for at least $12,000. Professor Akinwumi Adesina will say, and I quote, no nation has ever developed by exporting raw materials alone. Industrialization is the fastest route to job creation, wealth creation, and foreign exchange stability. My opponent here also argued that dollar is higher than the naira. Yes, why would the dollar be higher when we are not industrializing? When we industrialize, obviously our naira will have more value. Our naira will have more value, and therefore we will boost economic growth. In conclusion, For how long shall we keep exporting cocoa? For how long shall we keep exporting cocoa just to import chocolate? Or for how long shall we keep exporting crude oil to import refined oil? To industrialize, to manufacture, to produce. Industrialization is the only ladder that can help Nigeria from poverty to prosperity and from dependency to dominance. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we stand proud for the motion. Thank you.
Second speaker, opposition. Your time starts in, wait, hold on. Second speaker, opposition. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have it.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adedurangos Beauty.
Young lady, go on.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, good. Can you just go
Good
on?
day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adedurangos Beauty. I rise to support my team's arguments that Nigeria should prioritize agriculture over industrialization. My opponents may argue that industrialization is the key to unlocking Nigeria's economic growth. However, I strongly disagree. My first speaker has highlighted the importance of agriculture in Nigeria's economy. I will build on this point and also give additional reasons why agriculture should be prioritized in Nigeria's economy. Point 1. Agriculture is a significant contributor to Nigeria's gross domestic product. Agriculture contributes about 27.81% to Nigeria's gross domestic product and employs about 73.2% of labor force. By prioritizing agriculture, this can lead to job creation and also increased economic growth. Industrialization, on the other hand, will only benefit few wealthy individuals. Nigeria will need huge investment in infrastructure, technology, and human capital. According to World Bank, Nigeria will need about 3 trillion in infrastructure to achieve a sustainable economic growth. Mr. Chairman, why should we invest 3 trillion in infrastructure when it can be channeled to agriculture and better the lives of all citizens? Point 2. Agriculture ensures food security. By prioritizing agriculture, Nigeria can increase its crop production and also reduce its dependence on imports. This will better the lives of citizens, and this will also reduce the country's vulnerability to global food price shocks. Industrialization, on the other hand, causes environmental degradation, and this can negatively impact agricultural production and food security. For example, Niger Delta is currently going through environmental degradation, and this has negative impacts on agriculture and food security. Why then should we neglect this important sector that feeds our nation? Point 3. Agriculture can be done sustainably using organic farming and agroforestry. By prioritizing agriculture, Nigeria can improve its sustainable agriculture and reduce its environmental footprint. According to Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, sustainable agriculture can increase crop yields and reduce greenhouse emissions. Industrialization, on the other hand, causes environmental pollution, and this has negative impact on human health and its environment. According to World Health Organization, Due to air pollution caused by industrial activities, about 7 million people have died prematurely due to that worldwide each year. Point 4. Agriculture is a proven sector that has helped Nigeria in its economic development in the past year. By prioritizing agriculture, Nigeria can improve on its existing strengths and help to achieve sustainable economic growth and also reduce poverty in Africa. Industrialization, on the other hand, is a high-risk strategy that might not pay off. According to World Bank, many countries that have prioritized industrialization over agriculture have experienced mixed results, like Brazil and India, and while some have experienced deindustrialization, like Zambia. In conclusion, prioritizing agriculture over industrialization is the best strategy to improve Nigeria's economic. Mr. Chairman, we should prioritize agriculture and help to support millions of Nigerians who believe and help to support millions of Nigerians who depend on agriculture for livelihood. As Norman Borlaug said in the year 1970, civilization as it's known today will not have evolved, nor can it survive without proper adequate food supply. Thank you.
Okay. Third proposing speaker. The time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you to reaffirm our belief that Nigeria must prioritize industrialization over agriculture to truly achieve sustainable economic growth. The opposition have spoken eloquently, but eloquence alone cannot erase economic reality. They have painted agriculture as Nigeria's savior. But let us face the fact that for decades now, Nigeria has remained largely agricultural. Yet, poverty persists, unemployment rises, and imports flood our markets. If agriculture alone could make a nation prosperous, I assure you that Nigeria would already be an economic superpower by now. So I ask, how can a nation prosper when it keeps exporting its raw materials, only to import them back as finished products at higher rates? My name is Okoro Bethel, the third speaker of Team Proposition from Plateau State. And I'm here to affirm the motion this House believes that Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture for economic growth. I'll be summarizing the points made by my first two speakers, as well as debunking and rebuting the baseless claims made by the opposing team. We, Team Proposition, believe that Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture if we truly want to achieve economic growth because of the following reasons. Industrialization is the backbone of the economy. According to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization 2023, countries that invest heavily in industrialization have a record of over 40% higher rates of technological advancement and productivity growth than those who remain technological based. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, the former president of the African Development Bank, noted that no nation has ever developed through agriculture alone. Industrialization is the key to economic transformation. Secondly, industrialization also drives innovation and research, fueling technological growth. Industrialization adds value to agriculture, turning Nigeria from a raw exporter into a manufacturer. It also strengthens national security by reducing unemployment and import dependency. Let me have your POI. Let me have your POI.
Industrial plants create job opportunity in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. But 70% of Nigerians are in rural areas. What about them?
That is exactly why we need industrialization. If we prioritize industrialization over agriculture, those in rural areas, the government can create industries in rural areas to help and support those in the rural areas. I know my opponents said that agriculture provides job opportunities, but how many of those job opportunities actually remove people out of poverty compared to industrial jobs? How many farmers in Nigeria's present economy are rich and above poverty level? Furthermore, industrialization modernizes and adds value to agriculture. Industrialization adds value to agriculture by creating agro industries and food processing. Processing industries. Nigeria can add value to its raw reality. Nigeria's agriculture
from their hand.
Professor Charles Soludo emphasized that without industrial capacity, Nigeria's agriculture will remain a poverty trap rather than a wealth creator. My opponents also said that Nigeria should focus on agriculture because it provides job opportunities for youths in the rural areas. But aren't most of those opportunities low-income based and subsistence income-based farming? With industrialization, factories can be built that can help to process agricultural produce, thereby boosting the economy. Industrialization will complement agriculture, but definitely the way industrialization is not a rejection of agriculture. It is rather the foundation for transforming agriculture and achieving long-term economic growth. In conclusion, agriculture may feed our stomachs, but industrialization feeds our minds and futures. It transforms raw sweat into
Opposing speaker.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, honorable adjudicators, accurate timekeeper, worthy opponents, members of this house. My name is John Treasure, and I am here to stand against the set motion that Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture for economic growth. My opponent said that developed nations are industrialized. Development is not a leap, but a journey. The Asian tigers, which you speak about, and even the US, built a robust and efficient agricultural base, which fed their populace, and it generated the capital that led to their later industrial boom. You need to learn to crawl before you fly, and Nigeria cannot skip this important wealth-making step. Did you also know that these industries that you say enhance development contribute yearly to the pollution of air and water, which lead to numerous deaths and also has adverse effects on the economy? Industrialization, which you also speak about, that enhances development, contributes to the deaths and injuries of these same citizens working in the industries. The countries that you say they are developed due to industrialization suffer population and pollution. Take the Yangtze River in China, for example. It is the third longest river in the world, but it suffers from high population of industrial waste. And this might be the same source of where their drinking water is generated from. And also, air pollution in China has recorded over 1.6 million premature deaths every year. Or is it in India, where air pollution due to smoke from industries kills near 1.67 people per year? Let us even come back home. The quantum steel industry in Ogijo, Shagamu, on Ogun State, recorded a case of industry of March 2025, which resulted to the death of an individual and left 7 people injured and hospitalized. And also the Sifeng Plastics Limited, also on the 2nd of March 2025, recorded a case of electrocution, killing a man under the age of 21, working on a palletizing machine. Is this the change you want to see? Is this the development you want to see? A country that is globally recognized, but its people are dying. Mr. Chairman, honorable judges, accurate timekeeper, my dear audience, if this is the charge behind the development of a nation to industrialization, then I am sorry, but I strongly disagree that Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture. Furthermore, my opponent also mentioned that industrialization offers better job opportunities and offer better job. Industrialization creates an island of prosperity in cities, leaving the vast majority behind. Agricultural prioritization, on the other hand, creates widespread wages, growth, and economic opportunities right where the people are, empowering women, youth, and smallholders with immediate improvement. It's all about inclusive growth, not about elite enrichment. And did you know that the expansion of these same industries that you speak about has led to the displacement of rural villagers from their homes? Look at the Dangote cement industry, for example. Its expansion in Abuja led to the rural displacement of formerly subsistent farmers and petty traders. Now, these same rural villagers are forced to work as low-wage laborers and earning little income, barely enough to feed himself and his immediate family, or even to meet his primary needs. And the expansion of these same industries has also led to the migration of these rural villagers to urban slums, which is not conducive for human to live in. Worthy opponents, quote me correctly, my argument is not saying that industrialization should be neglected, but my argument is just pointing out the fact that the importance of agriculture cannot be overemphasized. Professor Chukwuma Soludo, an economist and the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, once said, there was once a time where agriculture was not just a sector of the economy, but a way of life that enhanced economic stability. But however, the rush to industrialization, if not balanced, risks losing the essence of sustainable growth. Mr. Chairman, honorable judges, accurate timekeeper, members of this house, let us invest in the farmer. Let us go back to our roots. Let us water the seeds of our potential. For a city or a nation that cannot feed itself will eventually be forced to beg. Thank you.
A reply which will go. You can pick whoever you want to make your reply speech maker. Reply speaker, are you ready? Proposition. Okay, you can start. You have 2 minutes to make your reply speech.
Sorry, the reply speech is supposed to be the negating part first.
Okay. From opposition. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Sorry
1.
to cut you. Is it?
Come again? Pardon, I didn't get you.
The network is breaking here. We want to understand if we are the one, the opposing or the proposing.
Opposition goes first.
Opposition goes first. Okay.
Remember, you're not to add any points. You're not adding any points. You're just summarizing and
Okay.
clear. Okay, your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So good day, Chairman. Good day, Chairman, honorable judges, and members of this house. As you can see, it's me, Saliu Deborah, and I'm back again. Well, we hope you've listened to all what my colleague said, and we hope that
We cannot hear you.
just again.
Yes, please.
Good day, Chairman, honorable adjudicators.
We cannot hear. How about you? Okay.
Sorry, give us 2 minutes. We're working on it.
All right.
I think we can hear her now.
Good day, Chairman, honorable adjudicators, accurate timekeeper, and members of this house. Well, I'm back again. It's Saliu Deborah. And we hope that it's taken to the government that agriculture should be prioritized over industrialization. With this wonderful point I've given. Well, I'm not here to talk too much or say too much. I'm just going to summarize what my colleague has said. Well, our first point is poverty, alleviation, and social inclusion. With the points we have given you, I'm very, very sure, and the facts we have given you, I'm sure that agriculture is going to be the best way to boost our economic growth. Another point was food security. We need to eat well. We need to have nutritious meals every time. Because let me give you this example of old people. Old people staying in rural areas, not only old people, people staying in rural areas tend to be much stronger than people staying in the urban areas because of the food security they have, nutritious food direct from the source, fresh food, and also livestock animals can go to the back of their house. If you have a poultry, take chicken, one, kill, and eat. And it makes the population of a country to increase and for procreation. But if you notice, industrialization, agrochemicals, and the rest, they keep on adding to food, and the rest makes people to die untimely. If you notice, people in urban areas die untimely. They die before they are supposed to die. They die before the appointed time God has given them because of the chemicals that are being infused in the food. So with this wonderful point we have given, we are not against industrialization. That is not the point. We are not against industrialization. Of course, agricultural products needs processing. We are not against it. That is not the point. That is not the motion. But we are just saying that agriculture should be prioritized over agriculture, over industrialization. Agriculture is the primary one. That is number one. It is primary, but industrialization is just secondary. Comes after agriculture. If these two can come together, but agriculture being prioritized, oh my God, we are going up. So with these few points of ours, I'm happy to tell you that agriculture should be prioritized. Thank you very much.
Very well. Like that proposition. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The proposition are not denying the fact that agriculture is essential in national development. But in proposition are trying to show to this house that we need to industrialize the agricultural sector in Nigeria. We've depended so much on the agricultural sector for many decades now. And the reason, the need for us to industrialize this sector is now because we need to conform to global standards. Back to the podium, Ms. Ndam Jacob, the reply speaker from Plateau, yet to give a brief and concise version of what my teammates and I have earlier argued. as the lead speaker, I extensively deliberated on 3 points, which are youth inclusivity, boosting governmental revenue, and creating employment opportunities. In addition to this, I reinstated the need for Nigeria's economic development through agriculture, as rightly stated by Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. My first supporter has backed me up, has backed the proposition up with the required arguments such as science and technological innovation, and how agriculture will help boost Nigeria's economy. The bunker has also concluded all the points we've argued. At the same time, debunk, rebuild, and counteract the baseless concepts that were raised by my opponents. Team opposition keep on diverting the context of this motion to nutrition, poverty alleviation, and others. They seem not to understand the emotion. We are talking about economic development, not nutrition, not poverty alleviation, or anything that they have mentioned. The speaker, members of the House, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I strongly believe that with what team proposition has laid before this House, we as a team have been able to convince all of us that in Nigeria should prioritize industrialization over agriculture. With this, we are not saying that agriculture should be neglected, but we should industrialize the agricultural sector in order for it to boost more value to Nigeria's economy. With this, let the motion stand. Thanks.
I thoroughly enjoyed all participants and their thoughts. Well, if you need it, presented your arguments very, very well, but we still need to know who is the best according to us. So your results will be given to you after I'm done going through how you all did, and then your results will be given. Thank you so much. You all did well, and I believe all that a round of applause.
Okay, thank you very much for. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful speech. We'll give the judge just 5 minutes to call the result immediately. We don't have time. The next team to come up now immediately is Team Abia versus Team Anambra. So the Anambra prepare in the next start your debate because of time. So while we wait for the result to be announced, next 5 minutes. Thank you. So in the next 5 minutes, we'll call the result. Abia, Anambra, prepare. Thank you.
Own detriment. You don't do that in a debate. At least you have to take one POI. Plateau State also have that as an edge over you. They took at least 2 POI, I think, 2 POIs, and they were own detriment. You don't do that in a debate. At least you have to take one POI. Plateau State also have that as an edge over you. They took at least 2 POI, I think, 2 POIs, and they were able to, at their own detriment. You don't do that in a debate. At least you have to take 1 POI. Plateau State also have that as an edge over you. They took at least 2 POI, I think, 2 POIs, and they were able to actually respond to those POIs correctly. So they had that edge. If not for those two things, you guys were at par, but then they add that as an edge over you. So I want to implore you in your subsequent outing, please do not flag up POIs, and please, your reply speech, do what you are supposed to do. Also, the first speaker from Team Plateau was able to distribute tasks. That's one of your jobs. You distribute tasks to your supporting speakers. First speaker at Team Kogi, you did not do that. You didn't distribute tasks, which first speaker from Team Plateau did. So, in light of all those I've mentioned, I give it to Team Plateau for this contest. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. End of the session of debate, like our online judge adjudicator has said, there were a lot of mistakes or oversight by Team Kogi, like the distribution of tasks to the other members of our team. Then the POI. Most of those anomalies have been mentioned, so I don't need to go over it again. For now, Team Plateau and my third adjudicator here give it to Team Plateau as well. So Team Plateau has taken the day. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, team. So what we have here is Team Plateau won this round, while Team Kogi lost this round. So thank you very much. We can move to the next debate immediately. Team Kogi, your hope is not lost yet, because we have a new update now. Niger State, we are disqualified in competition, so you can have a hope as best loser.